if I replay this later on, this is live on TikTok and kind of waiting to see if anybody shows up. It's how it goes on this app. There's Kirsten. What's up? What do you think? I'm showing off the Pisces. This is our very first button up. This is Pisces. This is the color of Pisces. This is actually kind of the physics. I call this the fisheye. A whole bunch of fishies in the net. It is so groovy, man. It's so like 70s. I'll be so excited when we can get these printed on like high quality breathable fabrics. Right now we're having to basically get them done wherever we can get them done. But this is really cute. I think we might end up doing a short sleeve for guys. I kind of see these as kind of like a new Hawaiian shirt. What do y'all think? What do you think? Do you like it? Yes or no? You can say no. How does it make you feel? Nothing? We have nothing? We have nothing. No comments. So I'm an astronomist. I'm a lot of things. And in the spiritual and etheric world and pretty much like the things of the unseen that a lot of people are just now seeing. And even for those of us who have been on this wild journey of walking for the first time in the human race, we walked out of sacrifice spells as an entire human race. You know, I was describing energy of 0 point today to my crew. And then I had a conversation with somebody else. And I was telling, you know, 0 point energy. We're in 0 point energy right now, by the way. We've been in it for, this is the 4th day. We have 2 more days that are completely at 0 point. This is a new creation rewrite. This is the ones of us who are original creators who knew how to turn on Giza Plateau did, which is why now the world is seeing everything that was underneath. But it's actually been happening since 2017 when we activated down here. None of us knew that we knew all of this. We were hidden from ourselves. We were hidden from the information. It's not one of those things that when this information comes in that you can be like, oh, I'll get to that in about 3 years. It's not how it worked. The information and the downloads, people call them, but this was like a true, kind of like I walked into myself. Not like a takeover walk in, but kind of, but from myself, from my higher self. And I was describing, you know, whenever you're in 0 point energy, people like want to get in 0 point energy and they're like so excited that you're in 0 point energy. Let's talk about 0 point energy. It is frustrating. 0 point energy and learning how to cosmic surf is a skill that you have to develop. Coming out of, if you would call it, a normal 3D life. If you know, I did not get started in spirituality because I seeked to become enlightened. That's not how it happened for me. I was here always to bring in the tech codes, the missing codes that are in your current system, which is why you're having issues. I was in high-end staffing, technology staffing, working with other independent contractors pretty much my whole career of 24 years in technology consulting. I was building a company. In 2012, I had already built a company. I had taken it to $3 million in 3 years. I was 40 under 40. I did not know anything about spirituality. I did not know anything about energy. I did not know anything about how it was really run. I thought, just like everybody else, that you work really hard, and if you have the right people in your corner, that you're gonna succeed. And boy, was I wrong. What happened to me is they knew who I was. They know who you are. If you're one of us, the people around me, I'm adopted and I was an AB negative. And so it's like I was raised outside of the family so that I would have a fresh perspective now. Really sucked being the one raised outside of the family. The family had a lot of money. The family was the ones that had sacrificed us in the beginning. The family is brand names and designers that all of you know and covet. We were raised separately because we couldn't know all their dirty crap. First of all. Second of all, we were here to end it and change it. And we wouldn't have been able to do that if we would have grown up in that world. So all of us, were, and this goes really deep, because whenever you really start understanding how all of us were switched around, and I mean every single one of us down here, and how the different family lines were switched around to keep certain unions from coming into place that should have been in place a long time ago. Switching of partners, this is why you've got so much cheating involved in friend circles, because 9 times out of 10, the one that they're cheating on is probably the one that they were supposed to be with. It's Ophusian twin sets that they did crazy crap with. So I didn't seek to become enlightened. I got a shit ton of black magic done onto me. When I was 8 years old and I was in College Station, I got stung by 2 plasma scorpions. My aunt was always around when bad crap was happening to me. It's like back then, now you look back and it makes sense. Like, where did those plasma scorpions come from? They stung me on my leg, both of them, a mama and a baby at the same time. And I was from College Station, Texas. My adopted parents will tell you that they're stupid and ignorant, and they know that that's why the Vatican gave me to them. They don't know any of this. They don't want to know. So Martha basically put meat tenderizer on it and then put me on the couch, and that's it. And I really didn't think much more of it until I activated. When I activated in 2017, and all these people started coming around me that I knew they had to know something was going on with me, the way that they were being sent into my reality. And I told one of them, yeah, I got stung by 2 plasma scorpions when I was 8 years old. And she goes, well, what'd the hospital do? I went, hospital? Mama put some meat tenderizer on it. And I remember I got the runs pretty bad. And it was kind of, but that was it. She said, yeah, they were testing to see if it was you. And I was like, 'cause you didn't die. Now, I'm by far not the only one down here. Where we all have special abilities in different ways. How I am different is I have an incarnate infrastructure. How I am different is my character and my body and who I am is always completely printed from the Giza Plateau. And how that machine works connected into the DNA that's buried there, and how the cosmos and the star energy, not the planetary energy, how the star energy comes directly into this realm, how all the monoliths and Easter Island and every pyramid and the ones at the bottom of the ocean, the ones that the good news is you don't got to call them out by name. You know, you just kind of see the whole infrastructure of how it's all done, and all that gets turned on during a procession of the equinoxes. This is all things that had been going on. This has been going on. This is a 1,000,000-year count. So this was a big one. Every war in history was fought in order to keep you from remembering long periods of time. And all of the artifacts in which you'd call the portals, but not always you're the portal. So it's like these artifacts and these things, even after they have the wars, and even after they take over the artifacts, and even after they take over what you consider the Stargate, it's no good without us. Because we're the Stargate. We're the portal. It has to go through that bridge. And this is what the Hollywood and all of them always had. Because, and most of our, what you'd consider soulmates, twins, are in the industry. Because of this. Now, 0 point energy, how it's different is you have to completely be in a flow. Now, let's talk about what that means. Y'all want to talk about that? As Super Pat, man, as the CEO of this in the sales team, we had meetings. We planned and had 5 meetings before I'd even go meet and go to my meeting. Go. Push. I'll give away $100. Who's going to get the most appointments? Who's going to get the most job orders? Everybody get on the phone. Let's go. And growing up in Bryan College Station in the southern, right? And I grew up in a remnant Mormon family. And pretty much everyone around me that was older had started businesses, not corporations, businesses, car lots, gas stations, things like that. So there was a lot of like business development in my life, but never big corporate. Always, making first dollar thing, getting something going. So I always pushed real hard. All of us that are major star seeds, we were the hardest on ourselves. We always are just naturally good at a lot of things. We can just do a lot of things, and that's why people get jealous of us. But whenever you're coming out of go, push, and you get into 0 point energy, it's a complete mind fuck. What 0 point energy does is when you get to the point that you can hold a 0 point, that means that your energy in your field, in your body, in your chakras is so high and bright like a star that density around you freezes and starts. If you go look at when I did the video last night, and I went outside and I showed y'all Orion, and I zoomed in and zoomed out, and then later on I was on Marco Polo, and literally it looked like I had a giant afro. There was so much density here in Texas from that massive tornado alley that we had come through here, and we're blowing out stored illusion fields is what it is. And if you're over here in Dallas, Texas, and you're familiar with Frisco and the Tollway, that's what it's called. The Fields is where they're building Universal Studio. And it really is an illusion field. And it's because you're the star. Your energy is becoming a star. It's a process. It's a process that takes longer than a year. And you got to keep going in order to hit star energy. And it's a lot of alchemy, and this is the ancient knowledge that I just naturally know. Like, don't even ask me how. I just know all this. I think it's just because I've done it so many times. But when you hit that point, or as a group, we're hitting it right now because there's so many of us at different layers that are holding this star energy. Now, when all the gases and when the earthquakes and the volcanoes and all of that flush through the human race and they're activating, and most of them don't even know that that's what's happening. All that energy flushes up and rises like heat. Just like if you have a 2-story house and you've got 2 different air conditioning units, and you know you got to keep kind of going, adjust them, especially in Texas because it changes so much. You're constantly adjusting it because the heat's rising and you're trying to keep the temperature. Same thing. Whenever we have these massive energy gates, now this is going to be happening every single year at the 1st of April, from now until like 2032 for sure. So just go ahead and mark your calendar that the end of March and 1st of April is when this energy is going to come in. Now, this is also whenever you're in a creator, and this is also when the flowers start blooming, and this is also where the creators start really creating, because all that carbon, once you're holding all that carbon, and all that carbon is moving around, and it has knowledge. It's not nothing. Everything has consciousness in it. It's almost molecular. You'd call it what, the God particle? But it really is like human DNA enacting with your DNA. And the further that you get up proving who you are, then the more of that you can control, because you've claimed connection to it. So, you know, it's like when you do this properly, and you know, throughout the process, you know, we've had to claim queens and kings and empresses and all of these things, but really in our world, all that means is that we can control the carbon at these mass layers, and that carbon is what we use to create with. You can't create in that carbon if it's suffocating you. You can't create in that carbon if you're bound. You can't create in that carbon if your frequency isn't high enough, not on your own, because it takes a little bit for you to figure out how to maneuver in it, because you're used to pushing. Well, whenever you've got a whole bunch of carbon energy, if you do this, guess what it's going to do? If I've got all this carbon energy that's coming up, and I'm in a 0 point field, and I start yelling and screaming, which I've done a lot of, especially in the beginning of this, what it's going to do is slap you back in your face, but it's not going to do it right at that moment. It's a little tricky, because it's hard to even kind of realize that that's what's happening whenever it does come back at you, because you usually have a legitimate reason to be mad per your perception, and then it's like, how come I'm getting mad at someone else, but then crap's happening to me? Well, this is this 0 point energy, and this 0 point energy is tuned. there is no time. So let me give you an example. Those of us, this is where you just have to understand that there's been a group of us building this for 7 years. And you have to understand that there's consciousness. You call it your ancestors, you call it your higher self, but there's those of us that knew how to do this, and we're coming to reclaim an ascension for the human race, because it's necessary for you to go through an ascension whenever you're going into higher energetics, so that you know who you are and what your abilities are. Because what you consider new earth, it's all that energy that I just told you. And whenever the human race quits clearing, whenever this separates, which will happen, and we're not flushing that energy, then guess what? We've got to make it on our own. Well, guess what else? We can't make low frequency energy to do it in anymore. You have to make high frequency energy. So it's like, it's for all of us that have been living in the matrix, not realizing that we were living off human harvesting energy, because we were. We were also getting it from each other. You really start understanding this whenever you isolate, and then you pull back, and then you start thinking, and then whenever you get into groups and with conscious people, and they're like, Chastia, you've got to stop losing your train of thought, because whenever we're all having these conversations and you're involved and we're just sitting here talking, and then we know exactly whenever your mind wanders, because then all of us get cut off from the conversation. And I'm like, what? What? Chastia, you can't call me and be all, because in the beginning I'd call people and I'd be like, and I'd be so excited, and the other person on the other end of the line is like, oh my God, you're sucking all the energy out of me. You're making me so tired. And I'm like, huh? See, you don't realize that you're pulling other people's energy in. If you go party all the time, and you're one that likes to go partying all the time, why are you doing it? You're doing it because you like the people's energy. You're addicted to it. And I get it. I was, you're pulling in, you're basically pulling in the attention, you're pulling in the energy from a large group of people, and then you take that home with you, good or bad or indifferent. But in this new physics, it's like you've got to create with your own energetic. So a group in California, and those of us who just walked out and are managing this stuff, because it repeats. So these spells and these ritualistic spells will repeat. They will happen to somebody. Maybe not as bad as it would have the wrong person if it's coming to all of us that have been doing the healing, okay? But it will repeat because it's an energetic that the land knows, that the city knows, that the building knows. Like, everything has consciousness, and we were running in a simulation that was not moving, and so it's like kind of like the message goes out, and these things start happening until we get more that are more conscious. However, as a frequency of the entire planet, it's moving up. But this particular spell that just tried to happen again, not to me this time, thank goodness, happened to me in 2020. So I'm telling you that because in this 0 point energy, now this could change by the minute. It could change by because you're in 0 point energy and there is no time. So that like the last 4 or 5 days, and even the McKinney stuff that I broke out of, and that 20-year spell that we broke off over here, that I personally was us closing the Watergate, that was associated to how they were doing this to our specific collective, because it's always built up on something. So in this instance, that tells me that California over the past week was at the frequency of 2020. Now, I didn't know that what we were clearing over here was the final stages of that until somebody that I'd done their chart, because I read charts, cohu32.com. If I'd done her chart, so I hadn't talked to her in a long time, so I didn't, and y'all message me because you hear me talk on here and there's all these different synchronicities and you're like, oh my God, this, and I'm like, yep, you were in the spell. No, I wasn't. I just let this homeless person come into my house with all these keyboards, and then he started playing this music, and then da-na-na-na-na, and then da-na-na-na-na, and I'm like, yeah, and then I'm adding to it. She's like, yeah, how'd you know? Because you's in a spell. I just got out of it in 2020. Now, I'm giving you an example of that because that's how 0 point energy is. If you've been walking your journey for a while, then you've been in a bunch of 0 point energy over, even though you didn't know that's what it was. And so it's kind of like leap year. It's like all these stored up, when everything hits 0 point, then everything can kind of move around. It's like terraforming, and this timeline will come over here and kind of jump in, and this one will come over here and kind of jump in. And whenever you walk your journey over the years that you're walking in, the 0 point energy kind of creates its own little basket. And so it's easier for you to go, oh my gosh, that happened to me in 2020. Oh my gosh, da-na-na-na-na. And then you're like, wait a minute, how is that all connecting? Oh, no way. It's stuff like that. But in the beginning, whenever you hit 0 point, it just feels like you're not moving. It feels like you're not doing anything. It messes with your head because you're used to like go, and everyone's looking around at you like, I thought you were working on your project. You're like, I am. Well, you slept until 12, and then I heard you upstairs talking to all the girls. I don't know what you was talking about for a couple of hours, and then I'm working on it. Chastia, don't you need to go mail some stuff? Yep, I haven't got the okay to go do that yet. Don't you need to da-na-na-na? Yep, that's all on my list, but it's not time yet. Because your energy body knows when to do it. This is also in the very beginning, because you're getting out, in the very beginning, you're dealing with mortgage, you're dealing with insurance, you're dealing with taxes, you're dealing with credit card, you're dealing with all this crap that you've got to like unwind and get yourself out of. And in the very beginning, when I was learning about my abilities, I would literally sit there and stare at the phone. And like knowing that I supposedly, according to what the world says, if you're behind on your mortgage, you're supposed to call and tell them. This is a great example. I knew not to. I don't know how I knew. Everybody around me was like, you need to be calling the bank and you need to tell them da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, they stole my company and they left me with nothing. And, I really don't have a story to tell them. I'm behind and that's just what it is. And I would sit there and stare at the phone and stare at it and stare at it and stare at it. And I wouldn't be allowed to call. But everyone around me is like thinking that I'm some loser and I'm not paying attention to my stuff because I know not to call. When I finally call, I always get somebody on the phone that gives me the exact information that I need, that gives me exact energy that I need, that, helps me. Like, you start your precog and your intuition will go and tell you when to make that phone call, because you are literally watching over this person's energy, and it's like, you know who that you need to call, and you'll call when you're going to get what you need out of this person, if it's for the good of you and the person. It's like, you know, they just got out of a meeting with their boss and they're pissed off. Don't call right now. You know that they're at lunch. Don't call right now. You know that they're busy. Don't call right now. This is one of the 0 point things that in the very beginning, and me being in sales and always on the phone and always like hunting people, because I was a headhunter, so I was a hunter. And so this is one of the first things that I really started noticing with my abilities and my precog, and started learning to trust it, because that's what I was seeing. I was seeing that I know I might not make the call. It might be 3 days late according to what the plan is you made for yourself. Because that was the other thing. I always had to remind myself, wait a minute, this is my plan. I can change it. Wait a minute. I wrote this. I can change it. If I need an extra couple of days, I can change that. I gave myself a time limit because I think I need it. And in the beginning, when you're starting to manifest and you're starting to do this from 0 point, you really do have to create like some sort of fail-safe within your mind, so that you can build from there. But then just remember, you don't know, if you're not feeling the energy of it, don't do it. I'll give you another example. YouTube. I've finally hitting like over 2,000 views on my lives on YouTube. I've been at it since 2017. And it's like, I know, and they're flying monkeys for the most part, but still it's views. So it looks all right. But I know when to come on. Like, I'll just be sitting here and all of a sudden be like, turn it on. I'm like, oh, okay. I need to I guess it's time for me to go live. Or if my team has called in for certain connections and we know that we need certain things, and then it's like energetically, I'm kind of watching the TikTok thing. It's like energetically my higher self's like searching through TikTok saying, okay, who is it that we could work with? Who is it? And then I'm going to jump on when that person comes on. Stuff like that too. You do it naturally. These are all natural abilities that we all have. It's just some of us are more developed with it. The more that you work with it, of course, then the more that you are shown. And for the most part, that's really all it is. You are convincing yourself to trust it. Now, see, I didn't have another option, because it's like I activated and I blew out of the matrix, and it was like, okay, I mean, I've got it. I have to show up and deliver these messages and tell people this stuff in 2017, 2018. People don't know what I'm talking about now. They definitely didn't know what I was talking about in 2017, 2018. I had to learn. And I had pretty much been training for this my whole life with my career. So and you'll find that like you're in training your whole life for whatever your mission is. So I was really good at public speaking and all of that. But I always kind of had an idea of what I was going to talk about. It's like I'd have an itinerary at least. This is some of the things that like bug the heck out of other people, and when I do these things, because I completely just channel it. Whatever comes to my mind now, I say. And what I'm doing is I'm getting one-on-one contact. All I'm doing is mirroring y'all's energy bodies, and then I'm getting kind of data feedback, and I'm throwing out different things. It's called multidimensionality, but I'm throwing out different pieces, and because am I talking to you? Yeah. How do I know that? Squirrel. Who's got a red book on their table? I'm seeing a red book. Somebody on here have a red book around them? Is it a notebook? Anybody? No red books? Somebody on here has got a red book around him. I can see it. Who is it? Melissa. How did I do that? Did I really see it? Not really. It's not like I whoa. Did y'all see that? It just took a screenshot. I was tapping on this and I don't know what happened. It took it did it again. Oh my God. I just tuned. I was looking around and I was thinking, okay, I wonder if, because I've done this with one-on-one people. Whenever I'm talking with y'all, I can like jump in your room and go look through your closet and shit once I know you. Or if we have the same DNA lines, if we happen to have the same DNA lines, and it's super easy to do. And so I'm in my head, I thought, okay, look around the people and see if you can find something. And then I didn't see her red book at first. I saw a picture of a red book in my mind. And so then I said, red book. Who has a red book? Who has a red book? Now, see, I've done this so many times now. I totally trust it. See, and then once I said, okay, red book, then I started focusing on the book more. Then I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'm like, show me the book. So then that's where I started seeing the notebook and things like that. These are these random thoughts that you have that you think aren't anything. And they're usually your first thought. The first thought is the most powerful. Always. And in our crazy world that we're living in right now, you think that your first thought is unlogical. Because it is. Because it really isn't logical how it was being done to begin with. Your first thought. You learn how to catch your first thought. In the beginning, whenever my mind was going, I had all these people that I had to pay. I had all these people that I had to I had all these families that, all their husbands and stuff, because mostly men, it's like I had 70 something contractors. So I was just always attached into that, energetically. And I could feel whenever my people were getting upset about money. I could feel, all these people depending on me. They were in my head. They were my employees. Like, so it took me a really long time. I mean, it took me like over a year at least to even get all that cleaned out to where I just had my own thoughts in my head and I understood that that's what it was. And then where were all those other ones coming from? Most of it is what I was just telling you. Not to mention if you're one of the star seeds and you're hooked into the technology and blah, 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 because it gets real fucking complex after that. But you have to you learn what thoughts are yours, and you start kind of tracking them and seeing where they're coming from, right? Then it's easy to catch first thought. That's why whenever you hear people say, oh, be in meditation, you got to learn to meditate. True, but this is live. This is life. So the meditation is the training. What you end up being in is a walking meditation. What you end up what you end up switching to is for, and there's a period in this as you're progressing. There's a period in this as you're progressing where it will feel like you're awake when you're asleep and asleep when you're awake. Has anybody hit that? Are you in that right now? Or has that been a process that you're in right going, or that you've already completed? Right now. So what's happening is your right and left brain is having to merge. You're used to only operating with your left brain. Everything down here, the way we drive our cars, with the gas and the brake, everything, I mean, the streets, how they're laid out, like everything's laid out 3D. Everything's laid out left brain. This is also like what the Left Reich was about. The Third Reich. But left. Everything going left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in a box to the left. So when you start expanding and your mind is expanding and you've cleaned space, so you won't hit this until you've done at least a lot of emotional clearing. You won't be in a lot of emotional trauma or drama. You've kind of gotten over all of that, at least to an extent, to where your body is kind of always at the same energetic. When you go unconscious, you start traveling, you start working. So you're going up to clear. You're going and having a meeting. Like y'all email me like pretty much. Now it's happening. I'm in y'all's dreams a lot lately. If you're having dreams about me, then yes, it's me. Anybody had a dream about me in the past week? I will show up in your dreams. It really is me. It's crazy what and the girls will be like, okay, Jessie, here's what we were doing. We were working on da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and we were, and then you left the room, and then da-na-na-na-na-na-na, you know. And some of y'all, like, I might be in 3 or 4 dreams at the same time, because you're only recognizing me because you know it's me, but we're up in the ethers, in our energy bodies, meeting, planning, and I'm air. So I'm, like, everywhere. And I've been training for this. So when you're sleeping, that's what you're doing. When you're sleeping, you're planning your next day. Now, this is the very beginning part of this. This is part of it. You're going to go through stage like this. Mine happened in 2018, and this is the exact energy from a mass scale that we're in right now. So what you're learning to do is creation. You're sleeping unconscious, you're creating unconscious. Then when you're getting the state, you have to totally be in a flow. You can't, I mean, it's little planning as possible is what you need to do. Instead of being on a time clock, it's more like, okay, what do you have to do? Do you have to go mow the lawn today, or can that wait all week? Okay, I just need to mow it this week. See, this is how you kind of want to do with the stuff that you have to do. I have to pick up my kid every day at 3:00. Okay, check. I have to mow the yard this week. Okay, check. I need to work out twice. Okay. Whatever you have to do, but everything else, and when do you need to do it, if it's not on a schedule, is up to what you did last night in the ethers. And you're working with people all over the world in a macro sense. So it's and you're aligning timelines. in order to bring something back into your reality that was taken away, because that's the main thing that we're all doing right now, is getting our inheritances back from all different types of things and dimensions. And it's gonna, that all has to be planned out. You've got to be in the flow in order to catch it. So during the day, what you'll end up doing is, you might not go to the gym, but you end up, for some reason, you got to go to the mall. And now all of a sudden, you've got to go to the mall. And you're like, okay, I'm in the flow. I don't know why, but I need to go to the mall right now. I could have ordered it at home, but no, for some reason, I need to go to the mall. Whenever you go to the mall, you're going to have to park way in the back. You're going to have to walk really far. You're going to walk all around the mall. You're going to be done at the mall, and you're going to be like, okay, well, there's one of my workouts. To give you an example. Because you're programming it. So it's going to happen naturally. You are the computer when you're at 0 point. You just have to remember to program what you want to do. You can even, I had a thing on here, 125 pounds. I had gained some weight when I got back from Florida. I was like, I had to be back at 125 pounds. I wrote it on my board. I didn't obsess. I kind of ate when I wanted to. Some days it was like, nom, 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 nom. Other days I was like, I don't even want to eat. But I got to that weight. You'll naturally, because you're telling you and your day what's going to happen. You don't got to live by the time clock. The time clock is not your friend at 0 point. So when you get, and you'll go through a period of that, and it'll be months, and you're getting better and better in a walking meditation. And what you're doing is building your bridge to be able to then, because it'll shift. It'll shift to where you won't, because in that stage, you're learning. So in that stage, your power is while you're sleeping. During the day, you're learning how to read it. During the day, you're learning how to pick up the clues. So your prophetic word, your energy field, and maybe being able to manipulate your reality won't be as strong during the day, because you're using all that power at night. Also, you're in training. So it's like you don't want that power consciously too soon, because you can totally fuck yourself up with your own powers. So what you're doing is learning how to manage that. And so once you get to the point wherever you're in a steady walking like a walking meditation type of feel, it starts balancing out. And then you'll notice that, okay, I actually remember. You won't remember your dreams either. During this, you'll wake up, you'll be totally tired. You might even have bruises on you. You might have bruises. You might be like, oh my God, that's like 4 fingers on my leg. What type of alien was touching my leg? Like, even stuff like that. You might remember bits and pieces, fighting and training, that's all, and then you can't remember exactly. There'll be if you do remember, there's a reason. So it's more like don't get upset if you can't remember. What starts happening is then you will start having normal dreams again. See, because that normal dream is just 4D. The normal dream is and the subconscious in the 4D was what was taken over down here through tech, current manipulation, blah blah blah. That's why most people that were like losing their cookie cutter, it's because it was being projected into their mind at night when they're unconscious. And then if it's projected into your mind unconsciously in this energy, then it's going to play out to some extent. in the physical. So they were manipulating, that's like all these love bombers, and that you'd have all these dreams to where they were like seducing you and stuff. That's so that they'd stay stuck in your mind. They wanted to live rent free in your mind. So it's like they would project themselves to you at night because they knew that you're a master manifester. So it's kind of like it's kind of like you had them on a backpack on your back. And for an example, when you're in this stage of learning the walking meditation, it's just like Melissa says, you know that you're in training, you know that you were just in a fight, you were just in a war, you were that's it. Like you really won't remember that much. When this starts balancing out, you'll start remembering more of your dreams or just having more of a peaceful sleep. And then you'll start noticing that whenever you're moving around in the waking life, that you're actually now changing things. You're changing currents. You're making things happen. But you can't skip this part because it's basically your foundation. Okay. Really, you can't skip any of these parts. Everybody wants to just be done with it, and so do I. We're saying it right now. My God, we just got out of March, and it's like, oh my God, get us out of March, because March wasn't the Ophiuchus 13th month, and this was the first year that it stuck, so it was quite intense. So it's like, just get us into April. Now I'm like, just get us out of these 0 point days, and my team's been doing this for 8 years, getting our ass kicked all over the place with pretty much no respect and no assistance, pretty much in the physical. In the ethers, we have more than we can possibly expect but in the physical, and this is what we've been figuring out, how to bridge these things, and figuring out how the fuck are we not, why is it not in the physical? Like, how is it not showing up in the physical? How is it that I can manifest stars, I can move stars, I can move planets, I can like birth planets and all that, I can do all that out in space, but why can't I have a house again? Right? And those are things that as star seeds we had to uncover. We had to figure it out. Because they didn't even know. We had to figure it out. All of us solved our own murders. All of us have solved our own missing cases reports. All of us have solved the whole motherboard problem down here. We have, as a unit. This is what you're getting downloads of, because in your old mind, it's like, okay, wait, I didn't go to school for that. So then how is it that I know that? It's like that's the old mindset. Now it's like you go to sleep and you wake up and you just know shit. It's really awesome when you do this in teams. If you're on any teams, if any of y'all are on a team, is there anybody on here? There's 19. Are you on any type of team, like a sales team even, or a marketing team, or maybe you play team sports still? Like doing, everybody on the team doing the coloring book together and and going through this process together. What we learned is that you as a team, you can do things in a month that used to take like a year. Because when you all tune up together, what happened, and you're kind of in a telepathy with each other, you're like that anyway when you work with people. But whenever you're tuned in, what happens is, number one, the manager can kind of relax because you're seeing things happen all the time, even if Joe is not at work. Number two, what you're figuring out is everyone's calling each other in the morning. Your morning meetings are completely out of control because everyone just had the dream last night about the new concept. Susie got the teddy bear. This guy got this piece. You're working all the time in the ethers. You're not having to think about it. You're literally in creation grabbing it and pulling it in at the same time. You're not thinking, I'm trying to figure it out. No. That's not how it works. No, it's not how it works. You need a solution. What do you need the solution for? That's is like don't tell me the problem. What is it that you need a solution for? Then you want to tune into that energy and it will come to you. It's not your great idea. It's probably been done before, but who cares? Does that make sense? And this is all ass backwards from how we were taught. Right now, so there's going to be a group of y'all that are in this state. And then in the past 3 or 4 days, what I want to tell you guys that follow me is and I've been telling y'all, okay, the amazing race is about to start. The amazing race is about to start. Whoa. It's starting. So what that means is we're in these 0 points. Okay, let me explain what I mean whenever I say proving. And I've talked about this, but I don't think I can talk about it enough because it's basically the ancient way that we used to work these ascensions. It's how it really works. But this is the information that was lost down here that only the oligarchs and the monarchs and people like that knew about and could even... the way that they had their channels worked and blocked, like you weren't even getting the messages. Well, now if you've been tuning up and you've been keeping your frequency up and you've been clearing your family crap and like taking accountability for crap that you did, before when you were unconscious, then you're getting all these different messages. And in towns that you're in, you'll just all of a sudden get a random... It really is like there's a megaphone that goes out in the DNA line. What you end up learning is that you can send these messages too. But in the beginning, you're catching the messages. And so it's I always use this as an example because it's the first time it happened to me. Best burger in Dallas. All of a sudden, I needed to go have the best burger in Dallas. Now, you would think, and I was like, how am I going to find that? Like, where am I supposed to go? All these places have hamburgers. So it was like, go to Google and look up the best hamburger in Dallas. And lo and behold, there was a restaurant that's what they claim, is that it was the best hamburger in Dallas. I go look at the address because I'm, what is the address? What's the number? What street's it on? Like things like that. You want to look into it. Does it feel right? Does it not feel right? Is that the right burger place? I don't know. See, this is you learning how to maneuver in this. I show up and the CIA and everybody was there and it was a claiming session. I got the message. They weren't expecting me. Or were they? My heart just went, dun. Now, when the energy is this clear that these messages are going out, what it's doing is it's just going out on a blast. They're trying to see who's picking it up. Because then it's telling you, too, who's in the line. They're seeing who's picking it up because they just send it out in the line. The other thing so it's in 0 point energy, it's easy to send out these messages. In 0 point energy, it's easier for people to ride your backpack, or to, if someone's sitting there going, Chestia, call me, Chestia, call me, Chestia, call me, Chestia, call me, Chestia, I'm going to send out this TikTok, and this TikTok, I want Chestia to call me. See, this is what the Masons do. And it works. You don't have to use Masonic symbols or any of that. I mean, if you want particular people to see your video, specific ones, you tell the video to get to that person and deliver the message, and it will. Especially if you're hybridized like me. We'll pick up that message quicker than in our head with certain twin counts. Usually what we'd consider like the middlemen. But also, this is all the energetic things that like covering your mirrors. Make sure that all your mirrors in the house are covered. Don't leave open mirrors. I loved mirrors. I had mirrors everywhere. I used to have this giant mirror behind my bed. Of course I did. And when I was activating in 2017, this one of the guys that was around me was like, "Oh my God, how can you stand to be in here? The energy's jumping all over the place." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You've got that mirror over there, and then that silver thing over there, and it's coming in through there, and it's like doom, 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 and it's bouncing all over the place." And I'm like, oh. Well, now I know I had all that up to keep me unconscious. I purposely knew, my higher self knew, I had all those mirrors up because I didn't want to activate I didn't want to send out a direct channel. I wanted that energy bouncing around. Okay? So I'm even telling you why I did it. But that's what happens. Also, entities can come through your mirrors. So you want to put a sigil, and you can use soap, you can use crayon, you can whatever. And it doesn't have to be big. And it doesn't have to be anything special. You don't have to go look up specific whatever. Just it's whatever you want to mark it with, and you can do it just on the corner really small. And what that does is, if there is any energies that are using that as a gateway, since you've marked it with a mark, what's going to happen is, if something's trying to come through it, it's going to catch it. It's kind of like, and you might even see, if something is trying to come through it, you might even catch, like out of the corner of your eye, you see something like glitching or a light blinking by the mirror. Well, that's what's happening. It's used to having a clean slate. If you mark it, it can't come through without the mark. It has to have a matching mark on its leg in order to come through. You see what I'm saying? Man, we had so many. I should have wrote them down that were coming up. Your TV screen, girls, if y'all are on here, I don't know who's on here, like what is some of the other ones that because it's been nonstop with this 0 point energy, just little bitty things. Your TV screens and your computer screens, especially in your children's rooms, cover them at night. Cover them. Do not leave them black. That's a black mirror. If you think a mirror can freaking produce some crap, oh my god, especially in this energy, because it's all electronic. So it's way more techie than the way the pixels and the 0 point lines up. What I suggest, especially with the children, if you've got an old pillowcase, because everybody kind of has pillowcases that they don't use. If you have a pillowcase, what I did is cut the bottom out of the pillowcase. Pillowcase is flat, cut the bottom and cut the seam, and it makes a cover. So you can make a cover for your computer screens for sure, because typically they're smaller. If you've got the giant TV, just grab a blanket and throw it over it at night before you go to bed. That's it. Whenever you get up in the morning, you can pull it down. You just don't want those active. Astro Command's only going, there's a whole bunch to the, what I find interesting is that you said Kim, because what is this? Ashtar was removed from the multiverse by Kim. First of all, Kim can't remove. Do you have any idea what it takes to like actually remove people? Something just happened. It's interesting. Kim today also told me that she killed Michael. There isn't. I'm not even going to get into that. That's almost like the same conversation as like the light crew over there with Rion and Alex, which has been coming up again, because a lot of that stuff that they've done in Arizona is now different pieces of it. Yeah, my hand is going off for sure. So there's some type of earth. I'll wait and kind of see. You know, their whole thing was, they have your soul. Go get your soul back from them. I can get your soul back. The very top of this thing is only one. Like, you're getting out of a 1,000,000-year cycle. This isn't in the future where you all have your soul and you weren't in after death timelines. Right now, you're just trying to get your soul. You're trying to get pieces of your soul back. But it all then goes underneath an architecture. And this is the conversation that I was having with this being today, because the main problem in the spiritual world is that everybody wants to be in this love and light bullshit where you're all equal. No, we're not. No, we're not. Everybody's been in a simulation for millions of years. Most people on this planet didn't even get the message that this motherfucker was blowing. Most people don't even understand what's going on. No, we're not the same. Whenever we all get out the other side, whenever everybody masters and gets out of here, we are. Now, but we're not exactly the same. We work together in the same energy. We use the same energy. We have to keep the energy clean. We use the same healing currents. It's not your healing current. You're tapped into a massive healing current that's way bigger than you. That's why you're a powerful healer. It's not you by yourself. See? Whenever you're thinking like that, now we're more equal. In the beginning, you're not equal. You're not me and I'm not you. No. You and there's a hierarchy to the spiritual world. Why? Because there was pyramid system in the lowers. Why? Because there's sacrifice beings that were at the bottom of every single one of those pyramids that they built the pyramid on top of. There's groups of us that know how to work the dark side. There's groups of y'all that don't know at all. Are you supposed to? Probably not. We were there doing it. Do you know? Do you understand that we have pole position up here because we can get down here real quick and take care of some things? Most of the problem with the spiritual community is that you don't really want the power. You think you do. You say you do until it comes in. And most of the problem is then it's like when a being steps right in front of you that's able to do this type of stuff, and I'm telling you, this is what we did and this is what we changed. Your mind wants to tell you, no, it's impossible. It's impossible. She's lying. There's no way. There's just no way. There's no way that somebody could actually embody Christ. There's no way that someone could actually embody Isis. Well, yes, they can. If they's made to do it. Does that mean that they're better than you? No. Does that mean that they think you're better than you? No. Does that mean that whenever you call for help, that they're the ones that are coming down to help you, which would be considered your higher self? Fuck yes. Why? Because there was a pyramid system down here that the whole world was running on, and there's a pyramid system in the underworld, and so of course there's a pyramid system in the ethers. It's layers. You're not blocked from it. But the ones of us that are holding it from way up here and way down here, we've been through millions of years and lifetimes of training to do it. Like, that is our jam. That's what we do when we come here. Our families don't make pencils. We make divine children. And that's what's so crazy. You know, this is why Jesus in the Bible always said, don't worship me. Become me. You know, that's how we all feel. Because it's not that we want to be worshipped, because we're sick of doing it. We opened up the gates and fought like hell to give everybody the DNA here that everybody said only the royals had. We freaking took down the dragons, the lizards, and the vampires, and the Hague, and the whole goddamn thing so that you could have it. And then nobody wants to deal with it. You'd rather blame it on somebody else and then oh, well, so, you know what I mean? Like, but these are some of the things that, you know, we also don't want you to just believe everything we say in face value, you know. No, go, not ever. I'm what you'd consider from so far from the past that you'd consider it the future. So other beings that are more like in the middle, they're not gonna get what I'm saying. Okay, cool. That's not who I need to be talking to, though. I have specific information that the whole rest of us that do have these, you know, then I've got other girls and people on my team that can talk to you guys about this stuff and talk to you in a what you'd consider more human 3D way of talking about it. But if you would have heard me talk about it 4 or 5 years ago, I was doing the same thing. You just become so elevated, and then your mind starts moving so quickly, and that's kind of the hard part that people can't keep up with in the beginning. You're getting hit with the Bible. Bible's an astronomy book. And just remember, there's many versions of the Bible, right? What we've been dealing with over this past week has been the changes that were put into the Bible by the Vikings that were associated to the stolen queen that they used for all of that was stabbed in the heart, and they put the king they took the king's heart and nailed it to her coffin. But she was a stolen queen from a different dimension, that then the Bible and all that was, you know, how they were kidnapping the priests and then having them write their own versions. My heart's going nuts. China came out with their own version of this too, like that we had to walk. Like whenever you're in the Bible, then, and if you're like, if you're Moses or you're Mary or you're Christ or whatever, Kabbalah, like any of them, any of the ancient texts, when you hit 0 point in the beginning, that's what you're doing. Like, I had to basically get out of the Bible before I could even start doing any of the rest of it. Well, what is the Red Queen to y'all? Because in my world, I was always in a red dress. I was always the one in the red dress, getting taken to their crazy shit. And then getting sacrificed. You watch the 100? The 100, the show The 100, and the year where they have to go underground and Octavia ends up becoming like that Red Queen, but all she's trying to do is keep everyone else alive, and they have to do some crazy crap in order to keep everyone alive. But it's because you can't go above ground, you have limited resources, you're trying just to like it, and it changes you. If all that you've done is fight to get out, fight to get out, fight to get out, fight to get out, get fucked over, get fucked over, get fucked over, and by the way, not do anything to anybody, you're the pure one. It changes you. Yeah, I can't watch Sandman either. I didn't like that one either. There's different ones that just there's different shows and because Netflix and the reason even that Star Crew has been in such a battle with BlackRock is because we had original contracts with them in order to basically live stream our consciousness in 2017 and 2018 specifically, like when the 100 and OA and those types of movies and Sense 8, those were coming out. It was because we had all incarnated and we were all going through it. So literally they just had the high enough creative consciousness to catch what was going on, and we allowed it to happen because we were all activating and we were coming out of such a deep hole and been under for so long that we needed to see it to figure out what was going on. So we literally like the 100 was supposed to be over at year 4. They had dismembered the whole thing. It was supposed, and we kept going. We kept going, so they kept going. Season 5 is the best one to watch. Like if you're gonna jump into it, go watch season 5, because season 5 is about them finding a moon. They're gonna live on this moon. It's polarity energy. It makes people freak out, and when the 2 moons come out, so everyone loses their cookie cutter, and they've got the born templates. Like that's really in the energy that we're in right now. If you get to 6, 7, 8, 9, that's where we came from. When we came here in 1972, that's where we came from. The weird little spacesuit and solving the puzzle and freaking jumping around space-time and all that type of shit. Being monitored 24/7. All have to look alike. All have to act alike. Can't stand out. Can't stand out. It's that for all of us in the 70s that were here, it's like that's what our parents and our Matrix parents were telling us. Don't stand out too much. Don't stand out too much. You're just a little too much for everybody. Blend in, blend in. Well, because we were here in the 70s and we were starseeds and they were Matrix parents. They didn't want to, people already felt we were children and we didn't know, but this is all what's changed. This is changing right now. People want to see the different. They don't want to see the same plastic Kim Kardashian fake titty bullshit anymore. Everybody's just so done with it. It's like in 2020, whenever these industry people started coming into my world, I was used to messaging all my girlfriends and like sending little, clips, whenever you're having Telegram messages or whatever. And so I send pictures and I send all this stuff. And the industry people that were in the industry, they're actors that are names that you would know. you know, I would in the beginning, it's like I'd hear, just send it, just take a snapshot. You don't have any makeup on, nothing, just take it and send it. And I would take the picture, and then in the back of my head, I'd be like, oh my God, I don't have any makeup on. They're used to being around all these really pretty people, and blah 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 blah. I'd be like, fuck it, and I'd send it. Well, come to find out, that's what they loved about me. Come to find out, that's what they loved about me, because I was different. I didn't like doll myself up and try to, you know what I mean? So just because you think that you need to be a certain way in order to get somebody's attention or whatever, it's coming from the inside instead of the outside. Well, now that is, you want to stand out now, because everybody is figuring out there's NPC people, but I'm talking about in the, y'all, were y'all alive in the 70s? Like, I'm not being we at 10 o'clock, a thing came on that said, do you know where your children are? It's 10 o'clock. Like, we grew up in a totally different, and we were from the future. We like crash landed in the 60s. It's like we were from AI high tech, and we crash landed in the 70s. Literally. That's why our generation is such a trip. Yeah. Our generation's a trip. All the tech got here as soon as we got here, because the tech was in our DNA, because we're from the future. This isn't year 2025. It's more like the year 20,000, 2025. If we're even going to attempt to give it a number. And that's possible because of the time travel and shit. That's how we were able to make it back here to this dimension. It's more than, right. Exactly. 2018, I thought that when I figured out Regulus moved into Virgo, because fixed stars move, it takes 1,000,000 years. And Regulus, I knew was in Virgo now. And I thought 2018 was when Regulus moved into Virgo. My Venus is 3 degrees Virgo. My Venus is staring straight at the cosmic eye. This is why I know so much about quantum energy, and I know how to manipulate quantum energy. And that's, you know, you'd call me like an airbender in that sense, but even more advanced. But that's why. So what we figured out, it was 3 million years ago that it moved over. I had basically all the 3 million years of wrangling energy in my Venus. This is why I know all this. My Venus is in Virgo in the normal wheel. It's in Pisces in the other one. So it's like in the way out wheel, I am the eye. Down here, after lifetimes, which I didn't incarnate every single lifetime. I was an incarnate. So we can only come into this dimension whenever we're doing a shift. You're only going to get ancient beings down here during a processional shift. You know why? Because whenever we come in, all the stories are in us. So whenever we come in, there's going to be some type of galactic war. There's going to be some type of space war. It comes with the territory. The outer wheel is Leo in the first house. That's the original wheel. is Leo in the first house. It was 8,000 BC. And it started out with Leo in the first house. And this is my progress chart. Let me find, and it's not cardinal like my natal. So here's Aries, here's Leo. Wait, let me find Gemini. Because Gemini and Sagittarius didn't move. So on mine, Gemini and Sagittarius are basically at my AC and DC. From the outer wheel to the inner wheel of Aries, and this is how dinosaurs got here. Like, how did we go from line of Judah to dinosaurs? I'm telling you. Aries in the first house. It was Leo. So Sagittarius and Gemini is like this. In the wheel, normally Sagittarius over here, Gemini over here, because I think this is mirrored. And then if I draw a straight line from here to here, all that happened was this house went to here, 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 this house went to here. It mirrored. So Sagittarius has Scorpio on one side of it and Capricorn on the other side of it. Okay, well then turn around and stare at it. Instead of coming from this direction where Scorpio's on this side and Capricorn's on this side, okay, now turn around. Scorpio on this side, Capricorn on this side. All it did was flip on each side. So Gemini, Taurus, and Cancer flip. Aries and Leo flip. Pisces and Virgo flip. Capricorn, Libra is Aquarius in the outer wheel. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of mirrors, but basically flipping the wheel to Leo in the first house is what saved our ass. And we just did it like, has it been a month? We just did it like a month or so ago. We just flipped Leo to the first house. But we had to break the wheel, embody the wheel, like master the wheel, and master all the programs of the human race in the wheel in order to do it. Yeah, it's probably been about a month. But when we did, it really did. Like, they weren't expecting that. Aries in the first house is what the simulation's in. You really to uncoil from the like, whenever you get to complete 0 point, like complete, if like what we had to do, like nothing is easy. Everything's got a problem. This technology is not going to talk to this technology. You got to figure it out. This isn't going to talk to this. This isn't going to talk to this. You got to figure it out. You got this piece over here and this piece over here, and they don't know each other, and you got to freaking connect them. Every bit of it, because it was 2 separate motherboards. It's so frustrating because you literally are creating, like, especially when it has to do with technology. Oh my God. Like, we've been manifesting all this technology that's out here. In the very beginning, whenever I was doing charts and I was using an iPad and an iPen, and I thought, it was thought went, I was on the internet one day and I heard go, like, it was the search string. It was a very specific words in the search string, which is basically like gematria codes, because all the data is in there. You just got to find it. Those of us who have more tech skills, like not technology skills, but abilities, we can find stuff in the internet that no one else can until we find it. Then once we find it, we pull it to light. Then everyone starts seeing it. Then it comes back into the collective. We had to pull a bunch of stuff back in, stories that had been wiped about us. That search string I found a fixed star chart that no one else had. That's what I was using in the original. Is like constellation of words used to not have the degrees. It used to be these poems that they just had these poems listed talking about each of the degrees. When I used to do a chart, I'd have that chart with all those degrees, and then I'd have constellation of words, and I'd have to jump back from here and then come over here and read it and jump over here and no. Swear to God, I woke up one day and it's all in together in one thing. Whenever I was drawing the charts, I only had like certain colors, and I needed more colors. This is before the colors didn't even come in yet. I just knew I needed more colors because I needed to separate the colors. So every time I used it, I was like, I need more colors, I need more colors, I need more colors, more colors. The children, I'd go to a family, we'd activate the little girl, I'd be staying there, me and her are on Marco Polo messing around, and all of a sudden the app shuts down. When it uploads, it's got all these new features. The tech exists further up than the human can perceive. That was the problem. The tech keeps going up. The tech upgrades in every single layer, depending on how much it's anchored here and how high it can get up here. It's still, and the entities and the beings that are on the outside of the tech trying to get into here are seeing all the tech before they see Earth and the human race. You've got to get through that layer. Like it's like, I call it galaxies. It was 13 galaxies, not galaxies. Galaxies. Like a whole bunch of, what is that foam that you like plug holes and stuff with, like plumber foam, like that. But different layers of it. And you would think that getting through a whole bunch of sponge old plumber foam that hasn't been touched in billions of years is more difficult than getting through a tech layer that's 100% 0 point, like a xenon layer, like what Scientology was using, like the xenon layer. It's like a whole bunch of lasers in those energies. Then once you clear a space in that field to actually like not get hit, then they start trying to connect and code you. So then the coders are seeing you. Then these ones are trying to control your bubble by sending in codes and all this, man. See, the what the main thing is, and this isn't any fault of anybody else, it's not anybody's fault. This was just the information that wasn't being told down here. It's that it starts out spiritual. Yeah. This starts out as spiritual journey, but it's not a spiritual journey. It's the human existence. And the Christ program was a military program. And so for the beings who like think that they're Christ and think that they're Jesus and think that they're Mary. Now there's 40,000 of us down here that were Christ like before this even started. So I'm not even disputing that that's what you are. What the problem is that you think that proving Christ is going to get you out. There's 40,000 down here, and if that would have worked, then it had already been done. No. Once you prove Christ, then it's all the hybridization, the experiments, the manipulations, everything that they were doing to our brains. This is everything they were doing to our bodies. This is the harvesting. This is the science. This is the technology. This is the manipulation in the eggs. This is manipulation in the sperm. This is manipulation in the brain. This is what happens whenever your brain is in the matrix and sedation layers too long. This is what happens whenever you're only driving with your right foot for this long. This this is what like that's the parts that you have to get. It's like and then the ones that want to fight with me are the ones who come to me to get this information, but then they want to fight with me about respect. Whenever you're coming out of these layers, if I just told you we blew through this matrix layer that's ding, 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 and then what did I give you, another layer that's a whole bunch of silicone foam. Well, there's only one snake trail out of there. It's not like we blew up the whole freaking thing. We just landed in a groove, and the ones that came before you, we were able to clear that path and get out in every single program to get all the way out. If you don't line up to that, then you're going to go through living hell and probably not succeed in trying to get out. Because that's how hard it is. And you have to be connected with the entire human race to be able to do it. That's what the Christ program was. The Christ program was all of us that were the sacrificed, clean every single disease down here. They had me in hyperbaric chambers. They were putting gas in it. This is why I got stung by a brown recluse and freaking it swelled up for a second. Then I pulled the needle out and I completely healed. They also send us the national deficit. They make us clean the money. This is how you got digital currency. They called it the Christ program, and they threw every single one of us in it that had any abilities or that were attached to incarnates or mummies or whatever. Definitely the feminine. If you were helping the people, this is what they tell you. This is your penance for helping the people. And then they would put you in the Christ program, and then they would throw all that on us. This is why they walk around the mecha box. They throw all that on us, and then they thought that we wouldn't be able to complete it. And we did. That is what the Christ program is. They don't want us alive because then you don't have telecom, you don't have any disease, then why do you need a doctor? Then why do you need insurance? Well, if you don't need insurance, then why are you going to work? Well, they need you to go to work so that you can turn around and give them the money that they paid you back to them. And those corporations are all involved in it. They're in networks. You'll notice that whenever you finally land that $100,000 a year job, you think that you're going to be rich. No, you're not. You're going to end up going to Target and spending $250 every single time. You're most likely not going to have, you're going to have the same amount of cash, right? You're going to have the same, I call it the Walmart and Target program. Who's been on both the Walmart and the Target program? Totally. It's so true. You finally level up, you get a 70,000 year job, you're thinking you're going to have all this money, then next thing you know, you're shopping at Target, you go in there to buy one thing, every single time you end up coming out $250, every fucking time. Then you got a bigger house because now you're keeping up with the Joneses. It just happens. Like it's not even conscious. Like it's like, okay, you got the job. We can get the bigger house for the kids now. We can get the yard. Da-na-na-na-na. You think that moving into the higher end real estate is going to make life easier? This is where everyone's doing everybody in secret. Everyone's doing drugs everywhere. They're like having orgies. And I'm talking about the parents. Like, it's nuts. Then you, see, this is what I loved about New York. When I went to New York and I was on the subway and I saw a man carrying a trash can that he had just bought, I was thinking to myself, man, I would save so much money here because I wouldn't go to Target. If you're on a subway and you don't have a Suburban to throw all your crap in, you know, but whenever you got the kids and you've got the Suburban and you've got the van and you've got the storage unit and you and then you wake up from the Matrix and you're like, you have no money and you have a ton of shit. And it's its own freaking level of frustration because you're like, I've got all this crap, but I don't have any money. And then you got to get rid of it all. I'm telling y'all, if there's some dudes on here that know some people with trucks, I've been telling this for a while. Y'all need to open this business. You need to go freaking network with the consignment shops, figure out where you can take stuff to take it. These people will pay you to come get their crap. And it's good crap. You just want it gone. Whenever you wake up from the Matrix, it's like weights. It's weights all over you. And like the first thing that you want to do is just get rid of it. It's nuts. We shouldn't be buying anything from factories right now. We should all be buying everything secondhand from each other, bartering with what we have right now because someone else around the corner can get it cheaper. You don't want it anyway. You're trying to get some money off of it. We shouldn't be giving any money to corporations right now. None. There should be city flea markets. There should be, if you're in an area, you know someone who has a farm, you know somebody who's got some land, you know somebody who's got some shopping centers that you can fucking do once a month and start doing it. Go freaking do it. Every town in the United States of America should have a flea market to where you're going and exchanging things, you're buying things that people made, you're buying new invention things, kind of like a world fair all over the world, but mainly to not send any money to the corporations right now. I knew that this was like make old things new again. You know, it's like one of the, you know, how, like, I know how to start the goddess houses, you know, there's different things that we can train these people to do that they didn't have training to do. We can turn around and sell those things and then pay people for the building for the homeless women and their children to come stay there when they jump out of the Matrix, for example. We can make new t-shirts out of old t-shirts. I know that I'm not doing it right now because I'm printing this, but I'm trying to find somewhere that's not China to print them. Does anybody know anyone? See, these are all the things that are like gated. This is Pisces. This is Pisces. These two. And this is the physics of number 32. This is actually Galactic Command. Everybody on a ship with eyes looking out. This is House of Kochi. It's just like the bedding. I know I'm always right here, so you don't see my bedding. This is my bedding. This is Cancer. This is the seriously velveteen, because this is Cancer colors. This is serious. There's the curtain, and then this is etheric body healing. If you've gone through major transformation, or your body's energetically transforming, you know you're having a lot of body things, you know that you're rebirthing. That's why I had to get this one first. Like, I made all these, and this is the first one that I had to get the set of because I needed the physics over me when I slept. And basically, it's like cell regeneration. This is well, this is galactic command. So this is going to command, and that's why it's like it's going to command attention, but it's also going to kind of, it's got that Pisces energy to where, you know, it's allowing for creation and things like that. But the colors and the physics, it's my dog. That's Bear. I know, he's become a staple. No one ever sees him. My camera is all crooked. Anyway, it's 12:30. I'm crooked. That's okay. Y'all have any questions? If you have a question right now, ask me. Anything. Y'all have any questions, anything that's popped up, or dreams, or anything you want to ask a question? Right now, it's just, we're at 0 point. We've got 2 motherboards lining up, 2 different, nice to meet you too. I'm also on YouTube. I've got like 7 years of videos on there. Go watch some of the old YouTube videos. Just go scan through the YouTube videos and see what pictures jump out at you, and go to some of the old stuff. Y'all got to remember, I've been doing this for 8 years. My brain works so fast now that it's like some of this, it's, go watch some of my older videos. All this ends up clicking in when it's time. It's just one of those things where you're like, oh my God, I know what Chastity has been saying now. Like, you just wake up one morning and you're like, my teenager says he goes on missions in the astral. 100%. Explain the Pisces shirt, please. Well, I have a cohu32.com is my website. And under Cohu32, there's House of Kochi. And House of Kochi is it's all the zodiac. Like I've got Leo necklace on. It's all the physics and all the colors from the zodiac. This is all the stars in the Milky. This is all the stars in the Milky Way. This is Aries. This is notice 1 in Aries. Notice 2 that's in Aries is number 1, all the way down to Pisces. So the stars aren't flat, so I mean this is a bad representation, but this is how it works. It connects on itself because you're in the Milky Way. All of those stars were birthed from the human race being at the level that it was for as how long as it was. And then those stars are birthed, and then the human race either went up or down, and then those stars are birthed. So the stars are the time machine. The star energy is connected to you. Whenever you pull up your chart and you look at it at equal house, wherever you have a planet or the sun or the moon, you're getting that energy into your field directly. It's directly coming into your field now. That's what you're learning how to deal with, especially if you weren't an RH negative, because if you had RH, then it's like you kind of had a helmet on and you weren't you're not used to dealing with the unseen and picking up messages and things like that, because the RH negative didn't have RH, so we were kind of like in space without a helmet. The entire human race has lost their helmet because you have to learn how to stabilize with the energies coming straight in. Each one of these, I mean, it's lit like there's ibuprofen colors right there. This is why all ibuprofen is these colors. There's FedEx right there. That's the Gemini colors. This is why all your food and the fast food used to be red and yellow. because it's a root energy. Like, this is how colors get down here, is from those stars coming into the human race. Every star is 2 color. So basically in this energy, it's like everything's yellow. You're floating around in yellow and you're looking for navy blue. In Andromeda, it's opposite. Everything's dark, 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 midnight blue, and you're looking for yellow. Each energy has a lesson because each energy's got a frequency. So basically, it's like if you have number 13 Regulus, let me give you an example. If you've got number 13 Regulus or number 14 Regulus in Virgo or Leo, you've lost a lot of money. You had a company, you lost the company. You were a football player, you hurt your knee. Somebody came and stole all your money. Like, every single person, every single person I've talked to, which is thousands, that have this energy, that's what happens. Because it's the royal house. It's collective money. It's natural for the human, whenever you first get successful, to make it all about you. It's normal. You've got to be used to being successful. When it first happens for the first time, we see people spin out, like we watch it. But until you live it, you don't realize how you get caught up in it so quick, and how everyone just starts using you in different ways and this and that. It's easy to discount because you want it so bad, and then we get too full of our own crap and we lose it all. But the point is to put the collective back in mind, and that's what the test was. The test is, are you going to get back up and stand up again and keep going, or are you going to give up? Orion energies, Orion and Gemini, we love the bad boys and the crazy bitches. Heard a voice a couple of weeks ago, first time even remembering the halls of Aminte. Yeah. See, that's all that's been cleared and it's wide open. Everything, like if you're attached to the halls of Aminte, you're going to get pulled in there at different times, that you're rebirthing, that you're maybe coming out of a tomb, you're remembering things in the tomb. I don't know, the halls, not everybody's got a tomb, but you know what I mean? Like, it's all, those pieces have already, they've already, for the most, there's a way in and there's a way out, and it's all been completed by the Pharaoh. Now it's open for business for everyone to come get their shit. The problem is, in order to get your shit, you've got to claim it and you have to embody it. You can't just sit in your house and go to work every day and do your old 3D shit and then expect to quantum jump. It's not how it works. You put all the knowledge in and you do all the brain stuff. Now you've got to go walk it. And it happens naturally. You just don't realize that that's what it is. Dang it. I know, right? Man, I've had to make weight to hit timelines. I don't know if it's because I don't know. I don't know why, but I mean, I'll have to, like, I had to get back to 125. I know that by the end of this, I'll probably be back to my cooked weight, which was like 117. At some point, I'll have to jump back there, because it's like my energy body will mirror that timeline, even weight, in order to match it and bring it in. I'm actually going through a little bit of this right now. I'm one of the things that I'm dealing with is this journey that I've been on, and I know who like, there's only really 3 sets of twins down here. There's only 6 of us that are like the main ones that because it's been being decided like what we're gonna make with, how it's gonna merge. The whole thing is like 5 multiverses all merging into one massive timeline. So and we were having to put back together the masculine and feminine, and oh my Lord. And right now, one of the reasons that I'm not all like it's hard to attract love whenever you don't make time in your schedule to manifest love. You literally, if you like, whenever you're ready to have a relationship, and first you love yourself, that's part of it. You got to pamper yourself. You need to take yourself out to dinner. You need to, like, you know, draw your own bath and stuff like that. That's a part of it. But also to really attract that love, you've got to be in that energy of giving pure love. And I got freaking smacked on the head for that about for the past 5 years. And I'm real hesitant to even give any of that energy out to the beings that know how to use it until they come proper. And so it's like, I'm going through that right now a little bit. But like I started out in the beginning of this video, it's like, what's the rush? Like, I was in a rush. You didn't need me. Now all of a sudden you figured out that I was right about everything. And the only reason that you really want me back now is because you miss all my energy. Masculine's definitely playing catch up. All of us feminines cleaned the masculine. Like, since 2018, we were clearing the masculines and our children. Feminines got out 2018. We were done. And we almost didn't get out again. You're Pisces. Well, if you go to the website, go check out House of Kochi. We'll get these up. This is our first haul. I got this shirt, and we've got a couple of sweatshirts. They're not up on the website yet. Capricorn is Ralph Lauren. Straight up Ralph Lauren colors. I mean, like, literally. Polo green, polo yellow, polo maroon, polo yellow, like, and then like ivory and gold. So if you go to House of Kochi, go to cohue32.com. It's Cohue, which means crowd rise in French. COHUE 32.com. And then go up to the top, you'll see House of Kochi. Push on the little arrow and it'll pull up all the houses, Aries through Pisces. Go look. Even if you don't want to buy anything right now, go look at the colors and go look at the designs that I have on them and go read what it does. Because it is tuned. And basically all the design, this is at the end of the wheel. So at the end of the wheel, Pisces, number 32, this is 23 degrees, Pisces dead on. So it's like 21 to 25 degrees. But this was hybrid space station. It's basically kind of like an etheric holding for everybody that has, your mind is conscious, but your body isn't, and you don't know how to, you're learning. So you kind of all go, it's also the Gateway Project. But for a lot of us, it's the in-between, because you can get out of the gateway whenever you're ready. But you need to build up your etheric body. So these colors this is peach. Peach and purple are the colors of Fomalhaut, which is Archangel Gabriel. And these are also the same colors as Aquarius and Cygnus. And then this blue and this neon greeny yellow are basically, this is This is what yellow looks like in deep space. You don't get solid yellow in deep space. In deep space, it's like lime green. And most things that are yellow in the lower part of the wheel. So like that has yellow, that's red and yellow, that's purple and yellow, that's blue and yellow, that's blue and yellow. Whenever you get to the higher houses, it's peach. Come in your peach and black color, taking it back, baby. I think I want ya. Peach. Peach is what the color is way out there. This is the lime green. But what ends up happening, see, this is a royal house, but it's purple and peach, not purple and yellow like the rest of them. Because whenever you get out that far, it's peach. You also, if you're seeing color orbs, or if you lay down and you start seeing color orbs, it's $4.44. This is under DigiChart. If you go under Digi Downloads, it's only $4.44. We send you this in an email. We know that you're going to print it more than once. That's fine. This is basic information. This is going to have all of the degrees. This has all of the degrees of all the different rays. And then we send you an email and we tell you how to pull your chart equal house. And you can go and see what color rays you have. This only has like 3 or 4 words, because I mean, literally, we could write a book about each one of these, and I will never, ever, ever, ever do a brand with 32 of everything again. Let me tell you what. You can only imagine. Everything we do, we have to do 12 or 32 times. It's insane. So I know, right? Like, I should get a medal just for that. This is only $4.44. We send that to you. And then also there's, I need to print another one of these. This one's better to print at FedEx. Hold on. Oh my God. I don't know what I'm going to do when I actually have a studio and I'm not doing it on my bed. It's going to feel weird. This isn't the whole thing because this is somebody's DigiChart. If we do your DigiChart, you get a full write-up. I go through and do a full write-up. And we're going to be doing a YouTube video soon with some of the people that have done their charts, because it blows y'all's mind. Like, because to me, it's a clock. And it's like I can tell why you're here, where you came from, like. And so you end up getting a full written chart, and then it's a 2-day process. We basically, as soon as y'all pay, it starts healing you and preparing you for me to do your chart. And then whenever I write it, then I send it to Michelle, my business partner, and then she puts it in a wheel. I don't think I've got one printed. Puts it in, it pulls. So you just got the rays, it pulls it out of the astrology, and then we send you, you can print it this big, and it's a wheel, and it's basically like your Da Vinci code and your colors. And then we send you, this is the 777. What we do is send you the ones filled in of the energies that you have, because the main point is remembering that you've got to finish it all, no matter. Everything's in a wheel. Everything's got to come through the wheel. And that's what the different physics are. If you go look at the different designs, they get more complex, more complex, more complex, more complex, more complex, because it's just the energies that you're dealing with in those star systems in that house. And so this is the 777 is what we call it, and it's $7.77, and it's basically got all of the gifts. This isn't the lessons, this is the gifts. We're working on the cards. It's just, I've been really busy. We'll have the cards soon. And by May. So this is going to tell you the gifts of the energy. So for instance, like number 13 is Arcturus. Arcturus is the force, because it's literally an energy force that's equal dark to light. So whenever you're in Arcturus, you're like equal dark and light. And energy field holds the orb of light dark to hold space for the merge process. So this is why Arcturians are really good healers. This is why we transmute energy. But if you have Arcturus in your chart, then whenever you walk into a room, it's like everybody looks at you, no matter what, because you're bringing in so much light, and you literally will press out whatever else can't hold it. Your energy will make people leave. It'll bring people in. When you walk in, you balance either the high. You might come in a little bit lower because you're the balance. You're balancing it. If it's real low frequency, like a bar or something, everyone's like, because you just shed light on it. It's gonna balance. You're balancing it. And you're in the healing network. That's all the wisdom of ancient healing techniques and the alchemy of processes available. So when you have this energy, people come to you for advice all the time. Everybody that's sick always calls you to ask you what to do. Like, you just naturally have an Akashic library that you can go up and pull this stuff. If you don't, then you should. That's what is available for you energetically. But in order to get some of that is realizing and stop judgment because of light and dark. Stop thinking that you know exactly who's good and who's bad because of light and dark. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's whenever you balance out that energy, it unlocks the Akashic library. Yeah, they're gifts. But you just naturally have every 32. There's 32 of them. I'm telling you, Arcturus. Number 1 is Notice 2. Number 1 is 12 to 16 degrees of Aries, in the simulation wheel, which is where the sun is right now, and that is time travel. It's also 44th dimensional body codes. So if you have energy or planet in 12 to 16 degrees Aries, you came in with the body template that we're just now building now. You always had a futuristic body. You'd go to the doctor and they'd go, oh, I've never seen this before. How many's had that? I've never seen this before. Everybody that's got this. There's Notice 1 in Libra. There's Notice 2 in Aries. Notice 1 is the 33-degree template. Well, that's the one that was tuned to the Egyptian pharaohs that the industry was using. It's a body template. It's big butt, little waist, wide breeding hips. Whenever you move up into the 44D template, if you have both, if you have any energy at 0-5 degrees Libra, and then you've got any energy 12 to 16 degrees Aries, you have both, then your body completely has changed. Your body has changed. I used to have like crazy big breeding hips. Now I got little bitty hips. They're really, really sharp. It hurt like hell to birth it too. Your eyes. This is bone template. Like, I had massive breeding hips. This is also like the BBL and all that crap. That's so 1900. In the new and it made dwarfs. Literally. During an energy flip. Because they tried to pad themselves down and weight themselves down in order to hold it in a lower frequency, which is why they were doing the BBLs, which was to keep a 33-dimensional template alive so that they could steal your codes. you got big breeding hips. Now my hips, they're real high. My hip bones are really high. They're really sharp. My cheekbones, your cheekbones, this right here, oh my God. Even your skull, and like eventually over the next 20 to 30 years, we'll stop having the platelets and it'll be solid back here. You activate a right heart because you've got a right heart and a left heart. When you have the 44D template, then you have a high heart. So basically you came in with a high heart, it just wasn't on. And so whenever you activate your right chamber really quick. If you don't have these things, it's not that you're not getting a body upgrade, but of course there's some of us that are ancient nodes that get the body upgrades and make it for everybody. Like, this is the part that everybody doesn't know. The industry knows. Shh. Follow? This is why everybody's like, well, what happened to Lindsay Lohan? And it's not just adrenochrome. It's way deeper than that. So on time travel, it's time travel, 44D cosmic body, and then and this is where the sun is right now. So even if you don't have this energy in your chart, what did I tell you? You got to complete the whole wheel. So even if you don't have this energy in your chart, when the sun is in that energy, that's what energy we're in. Cleared. And so your body is a transmitter and a receiver. It's running like a figure 8. You're completely on and you're running a figure 8. You're pulling it in. You got to empty the trash. You got to process it through. Your body's constantly receiving and transmitting, which is not in every single one of them. Cleared becomes, you're clearing. It's an archetype developer as well. So if you have this energy, you're really good at becoming someone else, changing. You've changed a whole bunch of times. You're not who you, and this is for everybody, but I mean drastic, because you're building a new archetype, and what you're doing is clearing to become a collective character. Most of us that have Notice 2, we're collective characters. The collective already has these characters. The collective has these characters assigned that are in the timeline. You're picking it up, and because you're starting to embody one of these characters. It's the same as the chosen ones, except the chosen ones are going to be coming up out of this. Now it's like the chosen ones, we were breaking curses and we were doing da 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 da. But did we hit this template? I don't know. Did they? See, doesn't necessarily matter. What I'm saying is that this is a collective thing, and it's the Notice 2. And so basically, if you have Notice 1 or Notice 2, it is Alpha Draconic, but it's so ancient that it's like it's so ancient that you come into this dimension and your body just goes. Whereas if you have Thuban or Virgo, you've got just regular Alpha Drac energy. You're still learning how to deal with your rage, your temper, emotional stability, things like that. Whenever you have a node, you've come in so many times, you've already processed that energy so many times that whenever you hit the ground, it's like, there's your body. How do the draconian and natal work together? The natal is your soul in your bodysuit right now. Because your soul has a history and a frequency. It's like a light bulb. It's like a light bulb inside a lamp. that has cutouts. So it projects, right? So your soul has a frequency and your bodysuit has a frequency. Your soul chooses what family to incarnate in. The reason why we were doing it before is because we had to clear certain family lines and we had to get certain ones completely cleared in order to break the wheel and do what we just did. So basically, whenever you started planning your lifetime to come back in, because you did, you could get back in 3 years. Now it's quicker than that. That was even in the 70s. Like if you died in 69, you could come back by 73. You didn't go, or 72. You didn't go all the way out. That was the problem. Nobody was getting all the way out. Now when people die, if they're not scheduled to come right back, they're going all the way out into the collective consciousness. You can't channel the dead like you used to be able to channel the dead with the new people that are dying. Because they're going all the way out into the collective consciousness. So your natal is what you are in your bodysuit. Your draconic, which they changed the name. The stars is like the start of propaganda. Like, literally. And it's got its own masonry. Linked to phonetics. And what they titled it. And then how all those connect. So they changed draconic to draconetic. Like, what the fuck? IC. Well, your IC is your mastery, whatever. But on Astro, it's draconetic now, FYI. Everybody's true note is 000. So in your draconic, your true note is going to be at 0 degrees Aries, 0 minutes. It's your soul. It's like your soul without a bodysuit. So like on my chart, I've got 6 planets in Libra in the 7th house. In this bodysuit. In this bodysuit, I have 6 planets in Libra in the 7th house. In my draconic, it's all Sagittarius. And whenever I first activated and I saw how much Libra I had, because I didn't know much about horoscopes and I didn't know any of this stuff. I didn't follow any of this stuff, really. I mean, I knew I was a Libra and I knew I was supposed to be balanced, right? And I was not balanced in the beginning. I was not. I was the most unbalanced, freaking fly off the handle, like jump your ass for nothing, like so. And I looked at my chart and I was like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, how can I have 6 planets in Libra? I'm supposed to be this balanced. Well, it's because my soul is all fire. My soul is all fire. Like, I need this bodysuit with, and that's why we even did what we did and allowed him to experiment on us and hybridize and all that. I mean, this was the human experiment. Like, it took everything down here, even all the evil shit, in order to finish our bodysuits, to be able to hold this energy in a physical body with everybody else in a template that is familiar, the energy is familiar with everybody else, so that we can channel it and hold it all together, because we're steering a star down here, FYI. This is why propaganda codes are such a big deal. It's why they want you to say certain words. They kill people just so you'll say their name over and over and over and over again, and it has nothing to do with people or death. They want you to say it because it's Cruz. It's the Cruz murders. You know that dude who went and killed all those people? That kid? What's his last name? Cruz? Okay, well, there's Tom. Like, the Johnny Depp came in on Depp hair gel. Tom Hanks, thank you. Elon Musk, KY jelly. Literally. Like, they attach their names to things that you see and look at all the time. They're that's what I was talking about. Like one of my twin, like my straight up twin, that I don't know if I'll ever whatever at this point, but he's like my wizard twin. So he has no common sense. None. He's a special kind of stupid with emotions and common sense because he's been a wizard. He's like known all this stuff the whole time he's been down here, and he's known how to maneuver it, and he knows that he can. Well, he used to be able to. This is why he wants me back now, because it ain't working anymore. That whenever he's trying to manifest something, he's always just been able to do it. So what are you talking about? There's steps to it. Like, he can just make it happen. So, you know, it's like, that's also why he thought, well, I can just replace her. Okay. Good luck with that. I mean, she might look like me, but not in this timeline, because I don't even know who the fuck I really am yet, you know, because it's so massive what souls we are, right? But that's why he thought that, because he was able to, like, replace it before, because it wasn't a wide open ascension count. He didn't have a feminine telling him who he was. He just had feminines around him that were going, oh, you look so pretty. Because most of the guys are the girls are the guys. I'm the masculine one. He's the one who's 6'4", looks like a giant ape. I'm the one everyone's scared of. It's a trip. He's the feminine one. He's the one that wants me to tell him how good he looks all the time. How do I look? How do I look? How do I look? Not, it's totally it's like, I knew our shit was, like, connected to Marilyn Monroe and JFK, because I'm an AB negative, and, like, anyway. But he's Marilyn. I'm JFK. Sonny and Cher. He's Cher. I'm Sonny. And I'm talking about, like, Hell's Angels biker dude. That's what Akashic Libraries I have. But he's brilliant with phonetics, naming things. Like, I'll be writing a sentence like this far out in advance, and I'll think that I'm saying something brand new, or it's something massive, like we just got out of the Queen's Chateau, or we just demolished the Illuminati, whatever it is, and I'm in the middle of it in real time, and I'll type a word and I'll be like, oh my God, that's what he named his sunglass thing, or that's why he named da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na, because he knows what word was going to be delivered in the power of it, and how many times I was going to say it, and so then he'll use those phonetics to, like, name his stuff and whatever. Like, they're brilliant at that. Brilliant. Ignorant to common sense. It's just like Bewitched. It's just like Bewitched. And when she was pretending to not be a witch because she could make anything that she wanted anytime, it's just like that. Then you get so used to just being able to make whatever you want. But then whenever the physics change and you don't have that ability, things get a little difficult. Hi, Corky. So that's the difference. Your draconic and your natal is going to be the same exact sigil. Here, hold on. Love to you too, Corky. Let me just pull up. I'll just show you real quick. I wanted y'all to see the shirt. This shirt is on the way to Denmark. This shirt will be worn by one of our ladies who's being interviewed, and then the picture will hang in a museum. Okay, first of all, this is astro.com. It's what I use for all my research. It's what I started with. It's the constant, because I was doing, this is researchable. This is all even connected to blood and DNA and genomes and sequences. So I use astro.com because that's just where I started. So it's the one I use. And if you look at other astrology charts, they are off. So you want to fill out, it's free. You just fill out whatever about your information. And then over here at the top, when you push on this, it's going to say My Astro up here at the top. Once you get your information in, then you can store 100 of names and birthdays in here for free. So you click on Stored Astro Data, and then you find yourself, and then this is the one you want to choose. You want to choose the one that has the 4 colors. You don't even got to know the name. It's the one with the 4 colors. You click on that. My dog is going to town. And the only thing you're going to need to change is this. It's going to pull up like this. You're going to have, this is where your name and everything is, your birthday, your birth time. And then right here where it says, I know this is backwards, it says house system. This is going to be set on default. You want to change it to equal. That's the main thing. You want to change it to equal. Why? Because it's a telescope. We're using it like a telescope to find the stars. I am not an astrologist. I don't even have all the birthday and the birth signs memorized. People come up to me and they're like, oh, I'm so-and-so. I'm like, I'm an astronomist. Like, and that's only your son. But anyway. So equal, and then I click on, I look at the true node and then Chiron into lunar nodes. But that isn't a big deal. If you order the 444 and the 777, would send you a write-up on how to do this. And then once you pull it up, just remember to do this little blue, because that's with transits. So it's going to show you, when you put with transits, what it's going to do is pull up where the planets are right now on the outside to show you. See, I told y'all. My AC and my Chiron are in Alpha Draconic Notice 2, because that's what I was always coming here to build, this Notice 2 template. And then I was always dying doing it. That's why my Chiron is in the first house. That's why as soon as you met me before the old me, you picked up my wounding. This is why they thought that I was weak. They thought I was stupid. They thought I was naive. They didn't think that I had, because they sense my wounding. If you've got Chiron in the first house, that's what it is. That's also how you see the world. AC. So, what I wanted to show y'all was, this is my chart. This is my natal. Let me flip this around. I command all mirror tech, mirror to our advantage. Most of the stuff that we're identifying right now and all the stolen tech is just a mirror tech that they were using. And it's on all of this. Like, if I'm, this whole thing. It's just so weird to me. Anyway. This is what my natal looks like. See how it looks like a gun? And I've got all these houses over here in Libra. See how it's all stacked up in Libra? This is why I know all this stuff. I had all the libraries. It's also why there was a shooting in the library the other night. There was a shooting in a library, like a random shooting in a library. Well, it's because cosmically it was a fight going in Libra. Like, people don't realize when you start messing with space, how much it mirrors down here. That's why they're sending people up in space. That's why they're trying to colonize space. Because what they do and change up there mirrors and changes your life and your body. And see how my MC is up in Capricorn? Okay, well, but see how it looks like this crazy gun? Okay, now I'm going to show you my draconic. So what you want to do your draconic is you'll go the green back to chart selection. And where it says chart type at the top, that first one we ran was natal. And there's a whole bunch of them. You want to click that drop down, and there's a whole bunch of them. The draconic is go all the way to the bottom. Just go all the way to the bottom. It's almost all the way to the bottom. This is your draconic. All I use is natal, draconic, and progressed. Those are the only 3 I use. It's really all you need. So there's draconic. Then show the chart. And of course, there's no transits on this. But see, it's the same exact chart. See how it's the same? Except it's all Sagittarius. My moon is 1 degree Capricorn. 1 minute Capricorn. That's how long I fucking been here. Like, when this Milky Way, when this orb started, I was here the first minute that it was made. And that's Lyra 1. That's the first creator root race. If you have 0 to 8 degrees of Capricorn, you're in Lyra 1. Your mind is powerful. What you think about the collective and what judgments you make about the collective hits the entire collective. If you're in Lyra 1, it's like you're hitting a consciousness with the rest of the Lyra 1s that are basically processing the judgments and making judgment calls that changes the fabric of the reality for the collective and the masses quicker than it changes for your own personal life. And your mind is so powerful that you can accidentally mind fuck people. You literally have a vampire mind that can overpower people. But see how it's the same thing, different houses. So this also kind of tells you how long you've been in the wheel. I've been here a long time, and mine moves 2 houses. I did this guy's chart one time, and I did his progressed, and I was like, oh my gosh, you're literally like the Black Panther came back from like, his moved all the way from this side, like the complete opposite side. So that means that like his draconic soul has been here for like 6 evols. Probably like 1,000,000 years each, maybe. Something like that. That's the only one I've seen that to that degree. If you go look at your draconic chart, see, this is why you kind of just want to go look at it. Go look at it and see if it moved at all. Because some people's draconics, it doesn't move at all. Like sometimes people order draconic charts and I go look at it. I'm like, it really didn't move. Don't waste your money. That just means you're new to Earth. It doesn't mean that you're not an old soul. You could be, because this is 5 universes all merged together. The problem is nobody knows about the history from space. That's what we're bringing back in. You only know the history from Earth. You don't know how the Rothschilds ended up getting down here, and then how that was even done, and then what's all been being done in space on these processional counts on what you'd call Nibiru or the 9th planet or whatever you want to call it. But like all of that is what's coming back in. So if your draconic doesn't move hardly at all, you weren't trapped down here. So you probably have a whole bunch of intellect and you've got a whole bunch of knowledge, but you fuck up on little shit because you haven't been in a human body that long. And you're still learning that, hey, or karma or sex. A lot of them have pornography issues. Only because they haven't had the experience of passion, because like desire and passion, like real, believe it or not, a lot of people don't have that. It blew my mind too. Like, I just thought everybody could do like we do, but no. They want it and search for it so bad that they view it. They're a voyeur. Because but it's only because they're not totally in their body in order to like express that. Does that make sense? It's a good example. It's just one zeta reticuli. People who have a lot of zeta reticuli energy, same thing. Same thing. Draconic, a little bit too much. Draconics tend to have too much passion, too much desire, too much. Not even being able to control it. Sex addiction. No. The opposite end of that is going to be the zeta that's trying to have the experience that he's seeing the Dracs have. I want to have sex like a vampire. That type shit. Good question. When the houses are empty, that means they're mastered. This is astronomy. This is the indigo children. Started coming in the 60s. The Ascended Masters came in 72. The astrologists were like, what the hell? I'm seeing these charts that have 6 empty houses. They had never seen it before. That's because we were Ascended Masters. And if it's empty, which means no planet, sun, or moon. So your Chiron can be there, your true node can be there. Like this house, number 10, is empty because it's a true node. It doesn't have a planet that's going to change, or the sun or moon that's going to change the frequency. It's a direction. If it's the sun, if it's a planet or the sun and the moon, it's going to change the frequency. The star energies coming in, processing through that planet or processing through the sun and moon. So the planet is just telling you what dose you're getting. The planet's just telling you how, because all 9 planets got to work together in order to manifest your reality. The point is, we're all having to learn how to do that without the planets, because the planets are only here during the Big Bang. Like, when we all go to New Earth, there won't be... We're like zooming through space. It's like you're free to move about space. The planets aren't going to be in a circle. That was around the G-Core. They all lined up for a reason. It's coming out of the solar. We'll still have planets for a while because we've got so many people. I'm just letting you that are still unconscious. I'm just letting you know. So when it's empty, it's mastered. And that's what I was telling about this. That's why you get this chart when we do your digi chart, because see how she's got this one up here, she's got number 1, and then she doesn't have another one till number 7. Well, this information still going through here, going through here, going through here, going through here, and going through here to get to here. Basically, this and this is all these put together. You might have, see how she's got these close together? She's only got to get through one different star ray in order to connect from here to here. But this energy, this information is all This information is the same information as this one. It's just a different frequency of it coming in. Does that make sense? So the point is to remember, I mean, whenever you say you've got blocks or like this green energy right here, this is Lyra 2. This is like the witches and wizards. This is first root race, which is what I just told you, which is Lyra 1, the big mind power. The other one's the body. So when you get to this one, you have to transmute the energy through your body. But whenever you're pulling in energy from the mind over here, you can change the apple into a bird, but it's got to go through your body. You might end up with some feathers. Should you change the apple to a bird? Why are you changing the apple to a bird? Why do you think you need to? It's also the wisdom to do it or not. Should you or should you not? Most people who have that energy always get sick. They have diseases because they're supposed to remember they can heal themselves. The people that get the sickest are the most powerful healers in the simulation, because you just got to remember that you can heal yourself so that you can help heal everybody else. So if you have this, see how she's got this empty and she's got Lyra 1 empty? So she's got red on red. She doesn't have Lyra 1 or Lyra 2. This is actually my business partner. I've got the one right in between Lyra 1 and Lyra 2. I don't have this. I don't have this. So when we work together, she's because she's naturally sending this information to here, but it's having to go through the first root race. It's having to go through the second root race. Then it's hitting Vega. So I'm usually filling in the information here for her, but she already has the answer. Every single time she's got the answer. She just sometimes doesn't understand where the answer came from, so then she doesn't have her own way of like checking. Is an example. She's always getting the right information, but whenever you're trying to go make logic out of it, then as you're tracking it through these different energies, so it's like with this one, it's because you've got to process it through your mind, then you've got to process it through your body, then it goes into the blood. That's Vega. So she's coming from the cause. This is Giza Plateau. This is Ophiuchus 1. And then she's got Vega, which are both root races. And then my stuff is more of the transmutation from the cosmic, all the energy that's coming from the Giza, processing in the brain with the collective, then pushing it through the body to hit the bloodline. She's still doing that. She just doesn't have the energy or the Akashic library. See, we all have a set of 32. And you've got at least 9. You don't have just one. You're in the middle. You're right here. And what you're doing is you got to keep all those hula hoops going at the same time. Once you and because you don't have just Arcturus, you've got a freaking set. So you've got let's say you've got Arcturus, and then like I'm a Master Soul from Sirius A. I have Saturn on Bellatrix, number 7. My AC is on number 1. I've got every single one of the Libra stars. And then I've got Ophiuchus 2, which is Ma'at. It's the consciousness of Egypt, not the Pharaoh. It's the consciousness that is, it's the consciousness of Egypt. The Pharaoh is the obsidian rock that can pull it in, anchor it, and build in it, but he's not necessarily conscious. He's got to be able, if he's the Pharaoh, he can build, he's got the etheric body to hold it, but is he connected to the consciousness to do it the right way? Well, I have all of those. You have a group of all of them. Even if it doesn't fall on these 32, every single degree in the wheel, that's what you get whenever you order a chart. Because you get, I tell you what the in-betweens are. Because even if you have like Aquarius, in Aquarius there's only one ray. It's Cygnus. It's the Master Decan. It's the angelic realm. But 0 degrees Aquarius is the veil. It's like the screen. 3 degrees, now you're dealing with the wizard. 6 degrees, it's going to be all the souls that are like being bound together in order to project the perfect Leo. 13 degrees, you're on the yellow brick road. 23 degrees, 22 degrees, you're approaching heaven's gate. You've got Chiron at 22 degrees Aquarius. You got right there what happened. You didn't cross through the gate. You get out of this is why we're not going into the Aquarius age. That's the lie. We've already finished Pisces. Like, we got to finish the wheel. They had everybody going through Aquarius over and over so they could pick and choose who could project. That's why this is the Beatles and how they're making stars and all that. Good night, Davey. Follow me on YouTube, too. Just go check Princess Chastia, same as this handle. If my sun goes from app natal from Scorpio, okay. If my sun goes from Aqua natal to Scorpio and Drac, yeah. So it goes from Aquarius to Scorpio. See, because Aquarius is the most, it's like, Aquarius is like liquid air. Like, Aquarius is like bits, a bunch of pixels, a bunch of moving pixels, a bunch of moving little bits of energy in all different colors, a bunch of glitter. But it really moves like, this is the website, Cohu32. You go to shop, and then there's a little arrow right here. Take that drop down, and then it says House of Kochi. That's like the energy of Aquarius. So see how it's like watery air, like liquefied air, and really that is what we're moving into. It's more of like a plasma energy. It's also a bunch of circle overlaying. It's rotation, but like one big orb. It's like like hypnotizing, because it's all spinning from the wizard into, and then all of that's projecting down to Leo. So the physics of it are like that. Now let me show you, but it's these colors. And it just depends on what Scorpio, if it's the beginning degrees of Scorpio or if it's the end degrees of Scorpio, because the beginning degrees, but I'm just giving you an example because the physics is very similar. This is Scorpio. Scorpio is going to like start building a diamond in order to start the wave, but it's in water. In Scorpio, you're dealing with, if you have Scorpio energy, you're here for one reason, to master Scorpio. What do you have to do to master Scorpio in the higher energy? Clear out your magic. If you have Scorpio, you either were from a family line that was using magic of some sort, were in a family line that had been, and everybody has been. I mean, this is even lying. Lying is a spell. Like, but in groups working together to do things, which is every group, whatever. But at the beginning degrees of Scorpio, it's the baby blue and white, like clouds. At the end, and that is, you kind of basically remember, you have like an intuition. You've got an intuition. You have like a sixth sense. You don't necessarily know any magic. If you have 1 degree of Scorpio, it's like you've got, your grandmother left you your mantle and you didn't ask for it. So, because you didn't know the spiritual stuff, because this stuff's very organized. And so 1 degree of Scorpio, it's like you've got a chest that's in your consciousness and it gives you intuition, but you don't even know what's in the chest. 3 degrees of Scorpio, you had the key. You opened the chest. 5 degrees of Scorpio, you pulled everything out and you're looking at it, but you're having to play with it to even see how any of it works. Or if it's still like, why is it there? Are you supposed to remember the typewriter because somebody typed a weird letter that was sent to the Nazis? Like, we've seen it all. Then from 12 to 16 degrees of Scorpio is where all the collective spells are done. If you have 12 to 16 degrees of Scorpio, you were made by magic in some sense or form. And I'm not saying it's all negative magic. It's collective. So even like chosen ones could have 12 to 16 degrees of Scorpio. But so does Biden. Skull and bones people in the politics, 12 to 16 degrees of Scorpio. Skull and bones, they were printed, they were made. But are they made by the collective, or are they made by lower magic? When you get into Scorpio 2, the spell's showing up in your life so you can master it. The closer that you have to 29 degrees, 29 degrees of Scorpio is like the end of the wand, the spark that comes off the wand. It's where everything's going to leave Scorpio out of the water, out of the steam, and then it's going to go into etheric physics, which is way more macro. And that's when you're dealing with Ophiuchus stuff and the ability to just change the air. It's like whenever you have Ophiuchus and you're watching the whole thing come off of Scorpio, it's like it gets to Ma'at, and Ma'at is like, I'm gonna blow your house down type shit. Right? But Scorpio 2, if you've got if you have like 20 degrees Scorpio, from 13 degrees until 29, the magic is showing up in your life. So the characters that you've had in your life, maybe your mother, your father, your friends, and this is like ongoing. If you've got like if you've got Master Decan Scorpio energy in your natal, it's like, if the collective changed the DNA, then you're gonna have a new friend show up that has like new DNA. Doesn't necessarily mean you like them or you don't like them. It's going to show up in your world. If you were in a family line of witches and warlocks because you're a royal, which is what the fuck they were, then whether or not you knew it or not, then you might be living in some fairy tale version of your past life because it was all made by magic. That's how you ended up in that family. But you're a magnet for it. It's going to come in so that you can decipher it to see, is it supposed to stick around? Is it real? Is it part of my story? Do I need it to stay here? That's mastering it. The problem with Scorpio down here is that everyone just said, okay, I'm Scorpio, I'm dark and I love sex, and then think that you can get away with it. No. If you're Scorpio and you just think you can go out and have aimless sex, but then you try to be chosen, you're the first one to get shit on. You can't stay. It used to be Eagle. And it's also the Book of John. But it's other people's money. Will there be a big star flare flash? There has actually. We had one. I had one. I had one here last night that came in like it was one quick lightning. It only rained like 5 minutes when it came in. We've had a series of them. I don't know, and I don't want to say, because we've never done this before. We've never completely pulled a human race out of a 100% Masonic environment that was half baked into a planetary system, that now we've had to blow open the planetary system because they put y'all in there without telling you. Like, the physics that we're dealing with, there will be flashes and more flashes. If we were all conscious in an area together, it happened quicker. Because there's so many that are unconscious in all these unstable foreign territories being governed by literally ga, then that's what's stopping the planet, like the whole thing happening for everybody, but doesn't mean that you won't see it. If you see a flash, or you, like in California, whenever we blew that 6-dimensional fucking harness off, I mean, there was a massive car wreck that happened because the dimensions fell on each other. But the guy at the gas station and everybody there were like, it was like a bomb went off, because in the dimension that they were in, it did go off. The bomb went off, and that motherboard fell into this one, and that woman that was driving a Masonic, because they were paying thousands of dollars just for people to like drive around. But they were driving around in Masonic lanes that were stolen, and shit like what happened could happen from risking to do it. And what happened was it collapsed, and she ran straight into all those cars and killed 5 people. And everyone around her heard a bomb go off, because that is what happened. So see, just because not everyone saw it, don't mean it didn't happen. If you see 2 suns, or you see 3 suns, or you see 2 moons, but the person standing next to you might not, that you're picking it up. Your eyes are dialed in with your thing. You can see it. It's there. You're seeing it. You're witnessing it. They're not, because their eye, I don't know, do they have glasses? Or they not, you know, if you wear glasses, you want to train your eyes and get off glasses. And you have, like, glasses reflect the codes back into your head. And the glasses are made by, you don't want to know what's in the glass. Not only are they doing that, they're like collecting, like, this is why the Smiths always wear glasses. I've got some pictures that'll blow your freaking mind. I put some up here that of my eyes projecting in the glasses, and then taking a picture, and you can see like all this crazy stuff projecting because it's a screen. So what you want to do is, whenever you're at home, you want to take them off, and you want to not wear them. I know you're going to get a headache, It's just part of it. It's like wearing an ankle brace on your ankle when you sprain it, but you got to get the muscle back strong enough again. And the way that they had the dimensions and everything set up is what caused the nearsightedness and all that anyway. The human isn't gonna have their eyes off when you're healed. And it's part of the healing. So you will... all my girls that traveled with me ended up losing their glasses. You just have to build up the muscle. And you want to do that because how are you going to see into other dimensions if you're wearing glasses? It's just going to project it back in your head, and then it's going to fuck with you. Fuck with your head. All right. Thank y'all for being here. Go check out Kohu 32. I did this as cheap as possible for as many as possible, so this is the cheapest way to get it done. You can also get the coloring book. If you're following me on here, I think probably at the end of the month or at the 1st of May, I'll end up doing a Saturday or a Sunday Zoom, and you can buy the coloring book and I'll walk everyone through it. It does have directions. You can do it on your own. That is the best way to get your chart done. And then if you need extra after that, then... because if you do your own chart, it activates you at your rate. Whenever if you know that you're stuck and you need me to completely align you, and if you are free and clear and you know that maybe you might have to change jobs, you might have to change this, you might, because whenever I align you, my knowledge is so powerful now that it blows you out. So if you're not prepared to, if you're not balls to the walls ones, there's a bunch of us. This is why I'm doing the charts. I'm just letting you know that whenever I do your written chart, it blows you out 0 point. Be ready. Because it's gonna align you, and it's gonna pull you away from things that you aren't supposed to be aligned with. And sometimes in the beginning, that feels like it's not that fun. But a bunch of mega star seeds, y'all know, you're just fucking rip the bandage off. Let's just do it. I got 6 months. Let's just do it. That's when you want me to do your chart. If you don't want it done like that, then you just need to follow on like this, order the 444 and the 777, and get the coloring book. And there's no right or wrong. That's just how it's going to come out. If you get the coloring book and you can't figure it out, you have our email. We send you 2 videos, too, to show you and walk you through it. It's only $30. Whenever you get it, we send it to you in an email. Once you walk through it and do your own, you can do your children, you can do your husband. At least you'll have you have all these pieces that come with it that tell you all the different things. So that's only $30, and we send it to you immediately. And then there's a thing in the back that you can draw your own chart. But really what it does, I don't have one printed. What it does is it walks through and tells you, this is where your AC is. What's the degree? It has a blank. You fill it in. What's the degree? What's the house? Go look. There's a black and white version that has this easier to look at without the colors, but you have this as well. And then, is it a Kohu? What number is it? Okay, move on. Then it's first house. Do you have any energies? Yes or no? What do you have? It walks you through it to where you've got it in a book, you've got it all together, so you can go pull it up and be oh, well, I have Venus and blah 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 in the 5th house and da 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 da. You can hand it to an astrologist and they can read it. It's like coming in with a prerequisite. If we're gonna start doing coaching soon over here, because I'm training some people to do some of it, and menu questions and stuff like that. If you've already done your chart, then we don't have to pull your stuff. You can just hand it to us. And we'll be like, oh, okay, well, right? And then you put that in a binder and you keep it. Then you start following along with where is the sun, where is the moon, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. You kind of know because you're following along. Let me show you this one last thing before I hang up. Because the main thing is keeping up with the collective energetics, because when this is collective alchemy, and if you're a creator, that's what you need to know. It's kind of like knowing at Christmas time that's where all your orders are coming in. It's like you create throughout the year, and you do certain things throughout the year, knowing where the planets are going to be. But the chart right now, this is what it looks like. Look at that shit. How did I do that? If you go to the top of Astro, if you go to astro.com, and over here is where your library is to pull up your chart. This right here, you click on those planets. And it pops that up. And you can look at it like that if you want. Or down at the bottom, it says show chart. And that's how you can pull up and see where they are right now. And if you just have either the coloring book, which is the best way to go, or $12.21, you get this and how to pull your chart. And you can start this whole process for $30 at the most. It's made to be cheap. Because in the beginning we don't have money. If you do have a lot of money, then you need to go order and get it activated immediately. Because if you are holding a lot of money, then you've got more to clean than you realize. The coloring book, you'll have it in an email, so you can do both. It's gonna walk you through. Because you'll want to pull your chart, and print it is the easiest way to do this. But you can look at it on the computer. It's gonna pull your chart, and it's gonna walk you through getting the AC, the D. It doesn't matter. You can do your progressed as well. It's gonna walk you through AC, DC, MC, IC. First house, second house, third house, and it's got all the blanks to list it out. It's kind of like ad libs. Does y'all remember ad libs? Might be. It's kind of like that. Those little fill in the blank things then you had all the words and it made the sentence. That's how I made it. And what it's doing is it's mind mapping. It's deprogramming your mind when you do it. Especially if you go to draw the chart. Drawing the chart is a little bit harder. It's a mind fuck for me, even when I do it, because you're literally pulling your energy out of the wheel. So it's like even whenever I do it and I'm looking at the houses and then I'm trying to figure out where the ray goes, it's like I've got to look like 3 or 4 or 5 times in order to make sure because it fucks with your head a little bit. It really is an alignment. It's walking you through the physical process, almost like doing a fidget spinner. So that, and you're pulling your energy out of the wheel. So it's a mental exercise that's also like putting in a higher program, not based on planetary house systems, based on 32 of the highest archetypes in the Milky Way. Oh yeah, you can just print another one and pull your progress chart. Print another one, do your draconic. What I really want to do is get the brand going enough with the fashion and with the bedding and everything, and to where we can give the education out for free. Because everyone should know this stuff. And this is future This is the future psychology. It's just the psychology of a 100% brain being able to connect to all the star points. I didn't make this up. This is what ends up happening once you start learning this is you don't realize that what you're doing is programming this in your subconscious, and you're programming it in your aura field, just like a gumball, or what are those things that you lick and lick and lick, and then you get through the different flavors. It's just like that. It's consciousness. So whenever you're conscious what colors, and because all this doing is telling you the same thing from a different perception. And whenever you meet somebody and you try to talk to somebody, what's the main thing? You're usually trying to say the same thing. You're usually trying to communicate the same thing, but you're coming at it from different ways, and then it gets all confusing. So what ends up happening is just you studying this and following along and just kind of memorizing even just kind of the different 32 energies and the colors. What it does is whenever someone walks up into your field, it rubs. If they have Cygnus and you have Cygnus, then that's how you meet somebody and you're like, oh, they're like me, or I get them, or whatever. When you get real good at this, what happens is you start changing your tone, and it's like you're subconsciously reading their energies without pulling the chart, and you're tuning yourself to talk to them. It's like, this is like the best sales course that you'll ever fucking take. I mean, I was the vice president of sales and marketing for all these different companies. I mean, this is also eventually going to be, this is HR in a box for a small company that's not going to be all crazy about asking for everybody's birthdays. But see, this is why they're doing that. They know that this is why they've made it so crazy for you to ask, like, this is why they're making it so hard, because this is real. Like, if I opened a staffing company right now, if I was to go back and open another staffing company, I'd do this on every single person that came in to apply. And I'd have the companies and the CEO do it to freaking figure out what the energies are of the company. I'd be able to match it up so much easier to what your mission is and what you're trying to do in the physical and everything else. Like, anyway, thank y'all. I'll be back.